this is where, okay, and also events like this, hopefully, where people learn about the immense value of holding for the long term. I do have a question about the landscape. You want to make
before
a point
that,
there? Yeah.
on SIPs, right, and the distributor. Right, the distributor, mostly the responsible distributors today only do goal-based SIP. And this is a live example. One of the big distributors in Delhi, I met him. They do only goal-based SIP and they've got 300 RM sitting over there. So when a customer says, and every SIP is with a goal. It is either my daughter's education SIP, my son's marriage SIP, my retirement SIP, etc., etc. When a guy asks for redemption, it is scripted for the relationship manager. When a guy asks for redemption, he is asked, sir, kahan se nikalu? Do I remove from your retirement plan or do I remove from your son's education? Invariably, the redemption stops. Right? So the distributors have become, if you see the behaviorally of the SIPs, as Sundeep pointed out, the distributor-backed SIPs are much more because there is a knowledgeable person sitting in between.
So you've spoken about the experience at the ground level for these distributors, and I think you have insight on that. So I would encourage you to give our audience some flavor of that, because we don't often speak about these technical details of the mutual fund industry. I'm sure some of my audience is aware. But you're talking about B30, beyond 30 cities, as it's called by the industry. And the regulator, again, you give credit at the start. I think you can give credit again. It is incentivizing the mutual fund industry to go out and sell in these B30 cities. It's going out and incentivizing, saying that you can, AMFI as a body is facilitating that, to say that you should go and sell to first-time women investors. But I just want you to give us a sense of what the experience currently in 2025 is in the much smaller towns and cities, because frankly the contribution from these cities is much, much more than it was even 1 year or 2 years back. Talk about some numbers here.
No, it's very interesting. B30 was introduced in 2012. Then from my point of view, the relevance of B30 is over, because today as industry, we are working in B300.
Okay.
As recently as industry, we opened our first branch in Leh.
Wow.
Now it's gone to that level that I think today in Leh you have only 8,000 investors, but the branch is being opened. So that tells you industry itself, and I think we need to give credit to all the industry players, some of the industry players, Nimesh firm, our firm, and some of the other colleagues, who've been there for so many years and having 200, 300 branches. We know as a matter of fact, initially you will not get business. We know as a matter of fact, initially these branches may be in losses for some point of time. But the point, the way we see it is, the entire story of India story, when you are, all the panelists who come to your channel every time, they talk of the India story is happening basically in the smaller cities. You say bikes are being sold there, the Colgates are being sold there, the Cokes are being sold there, everything is happening there. If the wealth is getting generated there, the biggest beneficiary of that is going to be the mutual fund industry. But we need to have patience. So what is happening if you move from B30 to what has happened now, the number of investors, I'm not talking about AEM, more investors are coming from smaller cities and towns. More sticky SIPs are coming from smaller cities and towns. And if you go to Google search, you check up from which cities mutual funds are being searched. Out of the top 10 cities, you'll be shocked to see cities, the names you will never expect them.
For example?
No, could be smaller cities, could be in Bihar, could be UP. These are the cities, I don't want to call my city, Chandigarh, a smaller city, that also appears in top 10, But the point what I'm trying to make is, our traditional thinking tells us it was Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. So this is how the landscape is changing. And also, recently the regulator has also started something to do with the women investors.
Yes.
More women investors are coming from smaller cities and towns. So it's a changing landscape. We may not be able to figure out what is happening sitting in BKC, but on ground, actually the industry is changing, and it's changing in the smaller cities and towns.
You want to add any insights, for example, for your firm?
Digital has changed everything. The availability of the products in the smaller towns, whether there are distributors in smaller towns or not, money is coming from everywhere digitally. Everybody is equal. So I don't see it as B30, T30. I won't know the difference also. Wherever there are bank deposits, open a branch.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. A lot of headlines were devoted to the micro SIP and the potential that it has. Since we're talking about SIPs,